welcome back to another episode of the Buffalo Happy Hour. Mike, what are you doing?
Derek, it's Halloween's over with.
Yep.
So I busted out my ugly sweater, and I got a useless fact, two of them actually, to start our day. And we'll dive into the fact that it's Christmas time and Christmas spirits, and everyone's excited for the holiday spirits.
Dude, it's not even Thanksgiving yet.
Yep.
Can't just jump right to Christmas.
People are fired up.
You're fired up.
No, as soon as Halloween's over with, all the basic ones put on their elf costumes, and that's how it goes. And they're ready for the holidays to have their spirits lifted and to gift people with gifts and show love and hugs. So anyways, the ancient Greeks and Romans would make gravestones for their deceased dogs. One read, "I am in tears while carrying you to your last resting place as much as I rejoiced when bringing you home in my own hands 15 years ago." Second fun fact.
That was a fun fact.
Cantor Fitzgerald CEO Howard Lutnick, who escaped the 9/11 tragedy by sheer luck, distributed $180 million among the families of the 658 employees he lost in the attack. He also promised jobs to all the kids of those victims, of whom 57 were hired in 2016. So...
Oh, that's good. I thought it was going to be like a Scott's Tots thing where he's like, I promise you all this, but I can't go through with it.
I know I promised you college.
But I got lithium batteries. Everyone's like, wah!
So those are the fun
Deep
facts.
office facts. So when is an appropriate time to start celebrating Christmas?
Like the 20th of December.
Really? You're that deep?
Yeah.
Why? Okay, so when does Colleen start celebrating?
I don't know. I tune her out. I can't do the whole let's rush into this holiday thing that happens between all the major big box stores. It makes me nauseous.
Yeah. So when do you start hanging like lights? Do you do Christmas lights?
I, more times than not, have a deep discussion with Colleen about how we shouldn't do anything because we're never home for it anyways.
That's true.
Especially because both their parents are divorced. Her family lives in Syracuse. What's the point of putting up a tree? We're not even home.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? This is a waste of time. No. We got to put the ornaments on the fake tree. It's not even a real tree.
Would you get a real tree? Well, I know you probably would. You want to cut it down yourself.
Call me Paul Bunyan.
Don't you?
But if we had a house for it, yeah. You know, with vaulted
house for
ceilings.
it.
No, we don't, Derek.
Well, it only
Are
has to
you
be like
out of
a
your mind? Where am I
7-foot
gonna put it?
It only has to be a 7-foot tree in your living room, where everyone else does.
No, Derek. Think it through though. How do I get it there?
Through the front door.
Oh yeah, you think it'll fit?
Yeah.
We don't have this gallantry
You don't
walkway.
need to. People that are homeless have Christmas trees. You don't
Well,
need.
that's because they live under them, Derek. There's no reason.
Jesus Christ.
You're the one that went there.
True.
There is no reason for us to have a real tree in our current house. The ceilings are normal. It's a cookie boxer home.
Cookie boxer.
It's useless. And then we're not even home. Who's going to water it? You think, no, what's going to happen is we're going to have those stands that's got the water in it. And then all of a sudden, Sam's going to get all excited and try to lick all the water. And then he's going to knock the tree down. Then the floors are going to warp.
Sick. That's what I'm scared about with Cleo, is that she starts just drinking all the water and she doesn't stop. And then her stomach is filled with sap.
Yeah. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
So you don't hang Christmas lights or anything at all?
I don't decorate the outside of the house. No.
That's the thing so I hate talking about Christmas before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, dude. I get to eat as much as I want and nobody judges me for it.
Right.
It's my favorite time of the year. But I want to hang Christmas lights before Thanksgiving because it's nicer out. Like, the last thing that I want to do is get up on my sketchy ass ladder in the middle of winter when it's snowing and it's icy out and try to hang Christmas lights.
Well, you can. I mean, there's people that leave the icing lights
all year long.
All year long, and then they just kind of leave them unplugged right by the outlet.
White trash.
Well, listen, dude, it's about efficiency, okay? And then when you got a nagging wife, not that we don't.
We don't.
Yeah, literally we don't.
Yeah.
But if you have a nagging wife that's constantly on you about decorating for everything because they just want that, I can't do it. You know, like the neighbor in The Grinch?
Mm-hmm.
She's got the Gatling gun light machine thing.
Yep.
I can't do it. I wouldn't be in that relationship anyways. Thank God Colleen's normal about it, but I just have to tell her and remind her and kind of bring her back down from orbit.
Mm-hmm.
There's no point to that.
Right.
And then it's a long-winded conversation of, but, I'm like, oh my God. I just can't do it.
So you don't like talking about it until December 20th, or was that an exaggeration?
No, I'm serious. I don't
So
like to rush holidays.
When do you take? Well, you still put up a tree though, right? Like you guys do it.
She does.
Yeah. So when do you take it down? Do you wait until like the Three Kings Day or whatever it is? That's probably wrong.
The old like Catholic
Yeah.
thing.
Where it's like the middle of January or something.
I let her take lead
Yeah.
because first of all, happy wife, happy life.
Correct.
And I don't care. I sit somewhere else in the living room where it's not in my line of sight. And I'm like, you know what? I can still look at the TV, or I'll just go in the basement. But now the issue, I mean, you know my basement.
Yep.
Now everyone's like, you gotta do something downstairs. You gotta have a tree
absolutely.
downstairs.
Because
you gotta
that's
have
where
such
your
a nice
holiday
spot
party
for it.
is.
I have a 123-inch screen. I'm just gonna put a Christmas tree on the screen, and that'll work,
There you go.
and that'll save a ton of time.
With Nick
But
Offerman just
nope.
drinking scotch like he did last year.
But nope, not good enough. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Nope, that's not a real tree, Michael. We don't have a real tree at all, anywhere. They're fake, and this is dumb. Such a waste of time.
Do you guys do the colored lights and everything, or do you just go classic white?
For the tree?
Yeah.
No, it's multicolored. And
Because those are two camps too. We do the white, where it's all like the yellow white lights with the gray tinsel. Like everything's white.
do you know there's some people that have separate trees for different color schemes?
No,
Yeah.
I'd prefer you not say that ever again.
Yeah, they do.
Actually, we have 3 trees.
I'm sorry, what?
We have one in the basement, one on the main floor, and one upstairs. 5,000 square foot house. Just kidding. It's like 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, you have a Cape Cod.
Yeah, but we got 3. Last year, we tried to put up 3. Gina forgot all about the one upstairs. We're not really upstairs except for when I work, and I'm not really in the Christmas spirit when I'm sitting at my desk. But downstairs, that's where we entertain people. So we have to have a tree downstairs. Tie the thing together. Like you got to have a tree downstairs now because your holiday party's going to be downstairs.
No, I'm going to be a Scrooge. Stay out of my house. You know, I have a floor mat at the base of the stairs. I hope you brought dog treats and bourbon. Have yet to get that.
Really?
Yeah,
I brought you bourbon.
that was for my birthday. That was different. But like if somebody comes over for a game,
True.
nothing. Nothing. No, I'm still waiting. Here's a bag of chips.
Yeah. So talking about the game, what'd you think?
Horrendous. You know, dude, I'm so glad that we can just text nonstop and it's not bad where it's like a 3-game or a 3-play delay. So we're just like right there.
Yeah.
That makes me happy. Dismal first half, extremely frustrating. So this is going to release 2 weeks from now. But
for our patrons, it's not. So go to Patreon, sign up. That way you get it a week after, and it's prime because then you know our frustrations in the immediacy.
Correct. So right now for those non-Patreon members, which if you're not a Patreon, there's literally so many options to choose from that you can be a Patreon. There's almost no excuse, but that's fine. We still support all of you.
$5 a month. It's like a coffee a month. Come on.
Less than that.
Yeah, seriously.
So anyways,
Anyway,
we're talking about the Dolphins game.
yeah.
The Bills did not show up in the first half. It was 3-3 going in halftime. I wanted to throw up everywhere.
Do you think we didn't show up, or do you think Dolphins just game plan for us? Because their defense is actually good. They just didn't show up for the first 5 games. Their defense, they have some great players.
They're good, but they're not.
Byron Jones and Xavier Howard, they're top-tier cornerbacks. Mm-hmm. What do you got up there? What you doing? Making me nervous. Is that a mouse?
Don't start. I will literally end it if it was a mouse. No, it's what was on the wall there next to the High Peaks photo? You know what I'm talking about? There's like 3 things on the wall.
I don't know.
All
Does
right.
it matter?
No, it's
going
fine.
on?
It's fine. I just can't remember what the hell it was. Anyways, thank you, High Peaks, for the photo.
Yeah, thank you. So Miami's defense is actually good.
Yeah, but I don't think that the game plan. There was a couple plays. You ready? Hold on to something. Where the play calling was not good. Derek.
Ah!
And I texted you immediately, and I said, I don't agree with that play call. And the first thing you responded with was, thank you, period. Like an old man. And I said, that was dumb. Because it was, Derek. That was dumb.
So here's the thing. We are a passing offense.
Dable has never had a good running offense as an OC.
Okay.
He just, that's not him. So stop trying to force it.
Correct. And that's where I was getting at.
Yes.
It's fine, like you and I have talked about. You have to run to keep them honest. We've talked about that numerous times. But the first, 2 drives, it was 8 runs and 2 passes?
And then Lofton is like, why don't we go run?
It was just so dumb, dude. I don't understand that concept. We have the weapons to throw. Why are we giving it to Singletary and Moss? They're not workhorse backs.
Our running game is throwing screens.
Right, exactly.
Either to the running back or to the wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's our running game, where we pick up 5, we pick up 4, we pick up 6. That's our running game.
But out of our first drive, what did we had 1 3 and out and 1. It was 2 3.
We were horrendous, dude. It
drives,
was it was 3 and out, 3 and out, punt, field goal.
The first
punt,
time
punt.
we made it two drives though, 2 plays, 2 3-down plays.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to get at. I'm blanking out here. But anyway, those 12 plays altogether, we threw screens and ran plays. So starting our play from behind the line of scrimmage, 8 out of those 12 times. And that's not us. We cannot do that. That's not our team.
I was upset going into halftime because I said, okay, so let's see what adjustments we make. We make adjustments, add Cole Beasley, which, thank God, took long enough. And then we're sitting there, and I go, okay, the third quarter's about to end. We scored a touchdown or 2 touchdowns at that point, and I go, any other team except for the Jets and the Jaguars, and the Jets now, I don't even know if the statement stands, we would have already lost the game.
Right.
It would have been too far out. And that's what's annoying, because against a good team specifically, we can't take a half off. That's not how this works.
Right.
So, and our defense is now just showing a lot of weakness in different areas, but the turning point of the game was the boy, Matt Milano's hit.
Hell yeah.
In the flat that woke everybody up.
Yep.
And I don't know why people were so adamant about getting rid of Milano because of Cap. He single-handedly changed the game's momentum to allow us to just wake up, take over the rest of the game, and win. And he's so good at playing linebacker.
Yeah.
So
He's so good at reading plays and just destroying them.
yes.
So I was listening to WGR this morning.
What'd they
Not
say?
a sponsor. But they were talking about they were never concerned that the game was out of our, we were going to lose that game. I didn't have that same feeling. At the second drive of the third quarter, when we still didn't do anything, I'm we're 1 play away from losing this. If Tua gets momentum, we're done. That's it.
Yeah, but he's horrendous.
He is terrible. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think they're going to grab Deshaun or no?
I don't think so. I think Watson is going to stay in Houston, never play, finish out his contract, and be out of the league.
Really? That's sad because he is a top 5 quarterback in the league easily when he's healthy and not being investigated for everything he's done.
Yeah, it's like he took Robert Kraft's idea and said, hold my beer.
Right.
Why? Was it really worth it? Yeah. You're an idiot. The whole thing is just driving me nuts.
With
and
everything
it's
going
extremely
on.
frustrating.
With everything going on, all the quarterbacks going down, Jameis Winston just tore his ACL. Zach Wilson's out, and Mike White came out and literally lit the world on fire with his 400 passing yards. It was wild how great he was.
He was in Allen's draft class.
It was wild, dude.
He did really well in the Senior Bowl.
Did he?
Yeah. He was talked about as a good quarterback. And then it was just the draft class of quarterbacks for the first time since the 80s with Kelly and everybody else, where it's okay, but you're not 6'5", 240 like
Right.
Allen is. So what? I mean, who are you? Plus, you went to Western Kentucky. Who cares? So it was nuts. But yeah, he just showed up and started crushing.
Yeah. But do you think that, one, we already talked about Watson being traded. You don't think he's going to get traded. Do you think Kaepernick is going to get signed, or do you
No.
think Cam Newton is going to get signed?
If anything, Cam Newton is. There's
New Orleans
no
already
way
came out and
Kaepernick-
said they're not signing Cam Newton.
no way Kaepernick comes back in the league.
You don't think?
No,
Why?
it would have happened already.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no, I don't see it.
So, for the record, Kaepernick sucks. That's why he's not coming back in the league. He's literally, he's terrible.
Look at the analytics. He's horrendous.
It's not his ideologies. He's literally terrible. I
Yeah.
liked him when he was in college.
He
In
had
Nevada, he was amazing.
Do you remember his
and then
workout?
his first year, his workout?
Yeah.
No.
Remember the workout he hosted where he changed the location?
Oh, yeah.
That was the final bridge where
Yeah.
he just burned it. And then they signed wide receivers from that workout.
Yep.
They didn't sign him.
That's awesome.
Like, he's not good.
But I remember specifically that when they brought them, I think, to the conference championship, right? It was them versus Seattle, the first or second year he was in the league. The receivers were coming out and saying, he throws too hard. It hurts. I liked him playing when he was there. And then he just stopped trying. And then he wasn't good anymore. And now he's just gone. It's wild. But yeah, man, everyone's dying. Like, Jameis Winston's out. Derrick Henry.
Adrian
that's wild.
Peterson went to the Tennessee Titans.
Yeah. What do you think about that? Do you think that's a good call?
I think
He's
he's
like,
just
what, 86?
old now.
Yeah.
He's just old now, and it's so sad because I watched a few highlights from him with the Lions, and he could have, if he was in his prime, he would have broke him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like there's plays where he hit the hole, made one guy miss, and then the safety was able to maintain his angle on him when in his prime, that safety never would have stood a chance,
Yeah.
and it's just kind of sad to see. Like, man,
He's a future Hall of Famer, though.
oh, no
Easily.
doubt, but it's wild. But I am
He's
glad.
36.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's old, dude.
Well, I mean, there's only a couple guys that can keep doing it at that age, like Frank Gore.
Especially a running back.
Yeah. But it's interesting that we literally talked about Henry's workload not being sustainable, and then
In the episode that released today, when the news broke that Henry's out for potentially the season, it's just unsustainable. You rely on
yes.
him as your entire offense. That is not a sustainable process going forward.
No.
Which worries me with Allen because our whole offense runs through him, including our design run plays, which is why I texted you like probably 17 times during the game. I'm like, I hate these Allen design run plays because he's more likely, I think, to get his head ripped off.
what I'm interested to know, what I'm interested to know is if it's a designed Allen run or if it's a run pass option that he just refuses to do anything with and keeps the ball himself.
The
And
key that you
there's-
can tell with that, though, is that if the guards pull out and start running with Allen.
Yes and no. And that's why I was talking to you during the game about the last one where you're like, is that a designed run or not? And I go, that's almost so impossible to tell because he was trying to throw the ball. The corner just came down and basically just became a spy and said, screw it, I'm just going to put pressure in his face, and then changed the whole play.
Yeah.
So that's, and I can't call up McDermott or Dable
But
and
the
be like,
last-
hey, what was the call here?
His rush touchdown was not a design run.
Right.
The guard stayed in place. It was supposed to be a pass play to who was that there? Kumaro? No, who was that?
No,
there?
Sweeney maybe?
Sweeney, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he just ran it in.
Yeah.
He's so much better when the DBs have their back turned to them, which is that ultimate play that I got so mad at. Like, I told you I was so mad when they gave it to Beasley to throw that touchdown
Yeah.
or that pass. It's like, what are you doing?
What was it down there again? Second? I think it was a second down
Yeah.
play.
But the thing is that you're playing man coverage all game. You have two of at least the top 10 cornerbacks in the entire league. At least. They're amazing. And you're going to give it to Beasley. The cornerbacks don't even know he has the ball because they're playing man coverage and they're chasing the receiver down the field. And you're going to give it to somebody who's not your quarterback to try to pinpoint throw it into the end zone corner. It's just a stupid play, in my opinion. You don't make that play when they're playing man. It was so easy. But whatever. What are you going to do? But, I mean, we won.
We did
Not
win.
all wins are pretty,
Right.
but we ended up coming back and covering the spread, right? The spread was like 14, and we beat them by what? 16?
Yeah, something like that.
27,
15.
11?
No,
26,
26, 11. I
Yeah,
think it was
15,
15.
okay.
So the I'm curious to see what happens. So
Now we're playing Jacksonville next week,
Yeah.
and they might be without their running back,
Yeah.
and Lawrence hasn't cut his hair, so he's still going to suck.
Oh my goodness. We'll see what happens with the Jaguars, but we should win that game easily.
Yeah, you
And then
will.
we have the Jets.
with Mike White.
Yeah. So, all right. We are recording this on November 1st in the evening, which means tomorrow is voting day
Correct.
for the mayor of Buffalo. So,
And much more than that.
yes, but next week we have to go over the results.
You'll
and
see
then,
if we're still here.
Yeah, and then we'll just say them and then we'll move on. We won't dive into it, but we'll move on.
You don't want to dive into it either way.
I will probably blow a gasket in general. Like X amount of people voted for X, and I will just go to Saturn, and I want to stay on Earth.
So, okay, predict with me.
Oh,
In-
God. I don't know what's going to happen.
In the primary, India Walton beat Byron Brown, but combined there was what, 20,000 votes?
20,000 total votes.
Do you think it's going to be more or less than that?
Way more.
You
They're
think?
already at 5,000 for early voting.
Okay, so what do you think the number is going to be for? Like 30,000, 40,000?
No, I'm going to say about 70,000.
Really?
Show up and vote.
So do you think a majority of the people know to write in a name? Or do you think
Yeah,
that they're going to
no.
see one person?
No, they do.
I think you have so much more credit than I do for the public of Buffalo.
Oh, people are brain dead. And there's... I mean, really.
What's the population? 230,000?
For the city of Buffalo?
Yeah.
No, 260, 270.
All right, I was off by like, Jesus, you're making it seem like I was eons off.
Oh, stop.
230? Oh, no, dude, it's at least 240.
City of Buffalo population 2021. I forgot I was in a bomb shelter in this new studio due to all the insulation, and it's not loading.
Perfect. I'll just look it up.
Yeah, so that's on you.
So you think it's 70,000 people are going to vote?
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be closer to 40.
Yeah, I think it's more than that. So,
And I think people are going to go to the ballots and they're going to see there's only one option for a bubble and they're going to fill it in. You're right. It's 278
yeah, there you go.
in 2020. So it's probably down to 240 now. 2020.
I don't know. We accepted a ton of migrants too, so
It's true. So what do you think the percentage is going to be?
that vote?
Yeah. No, that like on each side.
Oh, I don't know.
We'll speculate. It's the whole fun of this. We're not held accountable for anything that we do.
60-40. Byron Brown's going to get reelected.
Really? Mm-hmm. Again, I think you have much more confidence than I do in the city of Buffalo.
If India wins, I'm never going to the city again. Dude, you know she was going to build homes for like homeless people and those in need, raised a ton of money for it, and then kept it all herself.
Good.
She pocketed like 28 grand, didn't build a single home.
Well, how much are you going to build for 28 grand? Not saying it was right for her to do it, but clearly she didn't have a good backing if she only got 28 grand.
You don't keep it then.
Well, obviously, but I'm just saying.
Dumpster fire. Dumpster fire. So anyways, all right.
So you think it's 60-40? I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be 53-47 India.
Next topic.
Oh God. Okay, so no, we're dealing with this. So you think how many people are going to vote? 70,000?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that's our numbers. I think it's going to be like 45,000 people voting, and it's going to be 53-47 India. You think it's 75,000 people voting, and it's going to be 60-40 Byron.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big gap between you and me.
Yeah, it's almost as big as a gap. I'm not going to finish that sentence because,
Just say she's not fixing potholes. But anyway,
correct. She does not have dental. So we will dive into the next topic, which is changing your last name.
okay. Would I?
No, of course. You're
Jesus.
a male.
I was going to say, what are you talking about?
No. So Colleen is
No,
going...
next question.
It's necessary. So Colleen is working on changing her last name. Obv. Because I would never assume her last name's not how this works.
really.
No disrespect, but the Hollings names died. So
On Father's Day.
on Father's Day. Yeah, so for those that don't know, my second wedding, I eliminated...
To the same wife.
Yes, second wedding to the same wife, although I am Irish, so it's not too out of the realm. The last name of... So her maiden name failed. No longer exists. There's no boys, right? So the name died. So, anyways, Colleen is in the works of changing her last name with the Social Security office. I'm going to run you through what's going on with that because it's a disaster.
Really?
So she said, I'm driving to the Social Security office right now, so hopefully I make progress. LOL. That was a 2:06.
Perfect.
She's off today, right? 2:17. So 11 minutes later. It's effing closed. Why is this so difficult? I said, oh my God. And she goes, also on their website, they mentioned how they're having issues with their 1-800 line. Effing sick. I was like, what a shit show. And then she goes, OMFG, I just tried calling, and the message goes, all available representatives are busy. Goodbye, and hangs up on me. She's like, Christ, I'm so mad. She's been trying to do this since before the honeymoon, and then she's like, no,
When
hold
was your
on.
honeymoon?
Our honeymoon was September 2021. And she goes, I shouldn't change my last name because of our passports and our
That makes sense.
tickets international. It's all got to matchy-matchy. And I said, okay, when we get home, we'll knock it out. Mid-September, we can knock it out. It's November. You can't make an appointment because no one's there to help you make an appointment. And then you have to do it online, but then nobody gets back to you online. So
Right.
when you go there, then they're closed. And then you can't call the 1-800 number because no one's available. Like, how do you actually change your last name? But don't worry, because if you weren't a citizen, you just get $450,000. So I don't understand what's going on. And this is why I get mad, and then I say, let's go, Brandon, and then I laugh and drink whiskey. Come on, man.
The best, trying of the media was them saying, yeah, that's definitely let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, that, and then when they were blaming the Southwest cancel flights on weather, but it didn't affect any other airline.
So stupid. But okay, so on the topic of changing names, one, do you honestly think that there's a reason behind the male ever changing his name? Like, what if in this hypothetical situation, your wife that you married had 3 kids and she wants to keep her name? Would you, A, let her keep it, B, hyphenate her last name, or C, you take her last name?
Are you asking me this question, personally me, or just in general?
In general. I know you're...
because the answers would differ drastically. First of all, I would never take my wife's last name. So...
I'm not a birdcage-chested beta male, bro.
Yeah, I'm not a birdcage-chested soy boy walking around with my wife's last name and her name tattooed on my arm. Get over yourself, Carl.
Oh, my God. What is this episode? What are we even talking about?
All the things. Maybe this is why we can't do 2 Wednesday whiskey reviews and a Thursday review beforehand. It's fine.
This is why we need to every week.
Yeah, literally. So maybe if you're a teacher.
For a teacher.
I had that where my female chemistry teacher didn't change her last name when she got married to a fellow teacher in the same school who was an earth science teacher.
No, but would you ever recommend that the male changes their name?
No.
In any situation?
No.
What about that situation, though, where she has kids? Would you just want her to rather keep her name and then you keep your name and then you just go like that?
No.
Then what's the compromise there?
There isn't one. If the woman gets married, then she changes. I'm a traditionalist.
So then you
sense.
have the kids have a different last name than the mom?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Which one. My buddy that I lived with in high school.
Oh, yeah.
His last name is his dad's, and his mom's changed to his stepdad's.
Interesting.
So,
which makes sense. My mom's hyphenated last name, and I still don't understand that. She said that she wanted to because obviously my sister and I have the different last name, or have my dad's last name. So when my mom divorced and then remarried, she's like, I want the same last name as my children. But it's not, because now it's hyphenated. So either go one way or the other.
Yeah, right. Pick one. You can't have both. That's not how this goes.
Because now you're going to have supercalifragilisticexpialidocious last name, where it's just hyphenated and syllables and no one can remember it. My cousin's like that. She's got like 47 names.
I know one woman that has 7 names, and she's Middle Eastern. I haven't seen her since we graduated high school. And I would ask her all the time, I was like, can you just say it? Like, just say your name. And she knew that I was just obsessed with hearing it.
Yeah.
And then she would say it all. And I was like, that's fascinating. Thanks. Have a good day. And I just walk away. That was the end of the discussion. There was nothing to follow. Yeah, literally nothing to follow. I was like, that's cool.
So you went through confirmation, right? Do you have 2 middle names? Isn't that a part of confirmation?
No. So I got my first communion. I did not get confirmed. I got pulled out of religion
Okay,
before
gotcha.
then because, you know what? We'll dive into it. Here's what happened.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm in religion.
This is an off the rails episode. Let us know if you like this episode down below. Please leave a like, a comment, subscribe, because we're not going to last long, clearly.
Okay. We got to back up to about the 70s. Maybe the 60s. No, it must have been the 70s. My family is going to school. Okay? The nuns ran the school. This is a famous
You drink all that already?
story.
Do you want more?
No. There was a nun that did not like my family at all. There's 5 kids. We were not rich, okay? My grandfather, my dad's dad, worked in multiple fields, owned his own restaurant. He was a welder for Bethlehem Steel. He was a boiler operator for Steuben Foods. He had a vast majority of jobs. Old school Irish family. When we came here from Ireland, legally, we came in through Canada, got a job at Buffalo China, lived in South Buffalo, Jenna, and made it work, okay? We earned it. No $450,000 check. We then are in school, going to lunch. The nun refused to provide lunch to my aunt because she was short on payment by like a nickel. Okay, this is like the 70s. All my aunts and uncles were sick of dealing with this nun. So my dad said, I will take the blame. Do it. So my uncle puts the nun behind the cash register in line in a full Nelson. Locks her arms like that.
What?
My dad steps up, punches her in the face,
What? Are you kidding me?
gets expelled. True story. We fast forward.
Are we okay to keep this in?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My dad blasted a nun in the face because my
Jesus
aunt,
Christ.
his sister, got denied lunch, and the nun was essentially bullying my family for years.
Your dad's not wrong, obviously.
Yeah, like
he is,
the
but
nun.
not.
Yeah, wrong and not. I mean, there's morals and things, but basically, the nun was bullying my family for like years, and
Would
it
you
was
steal a piece of bread to feed your family? Would you punch
Yes.
a nun to?
to live. Yeah. So that happened. My dad gets like kicked out, whatever, right?
This
so
episode is off the rails.
we fast forward to when I'm in religion class, okay? I'm in like 4th, 3rd grade, something like that. My sister is 3 years older than I am in the same religion program. Because she's older, part of her assignment to graduate, essentially, from like the religion class was to student teach a younger class. That class happened to be mine.
Yes.
So we as a class and as a student body were off the rails worse than any podcast episode we've ever recorded. We did not go to that school full time. It was not our building. It was not our classroom. It was not our books, our desks, nothing. Kids, though, did go there full time. So we would destroy those students' desks. We're kids. We're like 9. Okay, we don't know what's going on. These kids had like chocolate inside their desks. We'd eat the chocolate. They'd have like bouncy rubber balls. We'd throw them out the window. Horrible behavior, just off the rails. My sister's trying to do her best to keep everybody in line. Okay, I don't even know if we had a first beep. Beep. So we go on. There's a kid named. He was huge, very
It's always-
overweight. He was very overweight. Large kid. Now, this is when I was like obsessed with WWE, okay? Calls the student teacher, who happened to be my sister, an ox.
Perfect.
My sister's not a 0 at Hollister, okay? She survives winter. She's strong, okay? We stacked wood growing up. My sister whooped my tail multiple times growing up. My sister can hold her own. However, it's my sister. I would die for her. So I stand up and tell, shut up, that's my sister. Say it again, and I'll punch you in the face. I sit back down. My sister goes through the lesson, teaching whatever, makes like a slip up where she's reading quickly, and then she skips a line and she's like, oh, sorry, hold on, goes back. Utters under his mouth, ugh, there you go, there's the ox again. And this other kid laughs. I black out. State of rage. Now, there's a lot from my childhood that no one knows about where I went 0 to Bugatti Veyron in less than 3 seconds. And I immediately go into a state of rage, stand up, and I start destroying as he's sitting in his desk. And it's the old school desks where the desk was attached to the chair
Yep,
by the
so he couldn't get
sidebar.
out the other side.
He couldn't get out because he's too fat. So I'm holding his shirt collar and I'm wailing on this kid, just punching him in the face as hard as I could. So Ben gets up out of the desk because he was strong. Okay, bigger kid. He had like 4.5 inches on me and easily 60 pounds. Starts to move me back to the wall. So then I shoulder thrust him into the wall, separate myself from him, and then start wailing into his stomach with midsection body shots like I'm a boxer. Because I would watch boxing on HBO back in the day where I was like, this is what you got to do to win him. So I'm like, if he falls down and I'm still standing, then I can just start kneeing him. I can just start kicking him, like doing all these things. And I had all these
How old were
ideas.
you?
I was like 9. And like I go, I know what Jeff Hardy does, The Edge, like all the Brock Lesnar, like all The Rock, like all these guys, I know what they can do. Like I'll just do what they did. So I'm imagining that I'm in a WWE ring, just hammering this kid. Well, all of a sudden, my sister's like, calm down. Moves me off because again, my sister's like not small. So she just like moves me off and goes, calm down, relax. The whole class is just like, that was amazing. Cause he was like, he was a prick.
Yeah, he was a
like,
dick to everybody.
Yeah, no one really liked him. So they're like, all right, thanks. Well, then I have to go see the head nun for religion. Okay. This old woman.
Never ends well.
Yeah, no. And she was like, she looked like a dry prune. Real old, right? Like needs some water.
If we were monetized, this would 100% be demonetized.
So I go down and I talk to her and she's like, you're in a lot of trouble. You can't get in a fight in religion. You have to, bless thy neighbor and you have to be nice and polite. And I said, he called my sister an ox. I drew a line in the sand. And at some point, Christians fought back, right? Like that's the whole point of the Crusaders. So I don't know what to do. Like we're taking Jerusalem. Like I don't know what to tell you. And she didn't like that response. She calls my dad. My dad shows up and my dad looks at me and he's like, what happened before I even walk in the door? And I said, Dad, a fellow student called Tiff an ox. I punched him in the face multiple times. I had to protect Tiff. And he's like, we'll deal with this after the fact. Let me deal with the nun. I said, okay. He walks in the door, closes the door. About 12 seconds go by. They start screaming at each other. And I go, what is going on?
So this is the same nun?
So my dad leaves the office after like a 5-minute verbal assault where they're screaming at each other. True, hand to God, true story. My dad looks at me. He walks outside, closes the door, looks at me, grabs my hand, and says, son, you're no longer in religion class. I'm pulling you out. And I said, okay. Good. I hate it here. He goes, I know. He goes, son, we're going to talk on the way to the car. I say, okay. So we're walking to the car, and he goes, the Catholic Church is not what it was anymore anyways. They want you to donate. They're focusing on community service. I put you in religion class so that you can talk about the gospel of God and like learn the Bible, learn the 10 Commandments, have a moral compass, like learn the good things about the church. And they're so focused about raising money. I'm not for it anyways. We're pulling you out. I said, okay. So we start driving home. My dad's silent. And I'm looking at his hands, and they're just knuckled, bro.
Yeah, white-knuckled?
White-knuckled. And I go, Dad, what's wrong? And he goes, son, I got to tell you a story. I said, what? And he goes, there was a nun when I was in school that refused to give Aunt lunch, and Uncle put her in a full Nelson, and I punched her in the face. I haven't seen that nun for the last multiple decades until today. And I said, Dad, what are you talking about? And he goes, the nun that I punched in the face, son, is the same nun that just disciplined you. And I had to get in another argument with her because she told me there are now generations of Kellys that are bad seeds, and it all stems from you and your bad behavior. And I took that personally.
Oh my God.
And I go, Dad, what do we do now? And he goes, what do we do now? And he starts yelling, and he's driving, and we're going through the back streets of West Seneca, and he's flying, dude. It's like 30 everywhere, and he's easily going 50. He goes, what do we do now? And I said, yeah. And he goes, we go to Eileen's, we buy donuts, we go home, and we move on. And I said, okay, sounds good. So we get in the house after buying donuts, and that's where I met Ross Salino for the first time, who's in line at Eileen's, and my dad went to school with him.
Yeah.
And he goes, all right, that's it. And I said, all right, sounds good. We get in the house, and then I get asked, how was school today? And I said, fine. And then my dad goes, yep. And then we take a bite of the donut, and we moved on, and that was it. But yep, hand to God, true story, that's what happened.
If that clip doesn't go viral, I don't know what will.
Yep.
What a story.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories about my childhood, Derek, and
We're unpacking them. It's like an onion, man.
maybe
We're on
one
the
day
internet
they'll be
now.
on there. Yeah, maybe one. So yeah, so listen, feed the Kellys, don't call us an ox, and you won't get your ass kicked. I guess that's the moral of the
my
story.
God.
We don't care if we dress like a penguin. Listen, we can't do it.
Jesus Christ.
Feel free to edit whatever you want to edit.
What a disaster. What a story.
You can't
That was
call me a
amazing.
disaster. You decided to go into
That was
business with me.
amazing.
You decided to go to business
I know.
with me.
And we're going to both get arrested one day, but that was an amazing story.
That's exactly what happened. Hand to God.
What do we talk about now, Mike? What do we talk about
How long has it been?
now? We still have 15 minutes to fill, and there's nothing I can say that'll compete with that. I don't even know, stole a pencil. I have zero idea what I can even say right now that can compare to that story. Jesus Christ. India Walt. No,
I know. I wonder who's going to listen to this.
30 people, and that's it.
I'm curious.
No, this has to be a clip. Can we make this a clip?
What are you going to name it?
I don't know. Nuns being abused. I have zero idea. This is what's wrong with the Catholic Church.
Yeah,
I don't know. We'll
the
figure
Catholic
it out.
Church got what's coming to them. Signed the Kellys.
What a riot, dude. That was so funny. Too bad TikTok has like a 3-minute extent, like max, because this whole thing would be on there.
Yeah, it's not,
Did Tiff get pulled out too then at that point or no?
My dad pulled us both out. So I got my first communion taken care of. So did my sister. I believe she got confirmed. I didn't get confirmed. And
So, moral of the story, you don't have, or ending of the story, you don't have 2 middle names.
correct. Yeah, I have one middle name.
What's your middle name?
Francis.
What would have been your second middle name if you were able to choose one?
I don't know. That's a really interesting question. I have no idea.
Well, think.
Wait, so how does that work?
don't
Why would
know.
that happen?
I don't know.
Why do people have 2 middle names?
I have zero idea. I'm not religious whatsoever. I literally
So it's a
played
religious
in a floor
thing?
hockey. Yeah, I played in a floor hockey league for like 3 months at the Catholic Church, and I raised the stick above knee level and swore, and then I was like kicked off the league.
Yeah.
So I have zero idea what's going on. They were reading Bible verses in intermission, and I'm like, listen, I just want to shoot the puck, bro. I just want to dish it out.
Okay, so you got to run that. You got to educate me on that. Is that next week? Can we talk about that next week? What is going? Can we record next week right now? What do you got to do? Eat dinner? What? What is
All
going
I
on with the
know-
middle names?
All I know is that when you get confirmed, I'm pretty sure you get 2 middle names. You get another middle name that you can choose. So
Google
like,
that. I don't have service. I'm gonna bombshell because my sister's
like, you would
confirmed, but
be-
she only has one middle name.
maybe you can like choose to have one. I don't know. When do you get
You get confirmed at like
2
16.
middle names?
It's the same thing with No, I can't talk about that. That's not going to go over well. We do some weird things as humans just because one person said it was a good idea,
Correct.
including medical procedures for boys when they're still babies. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we will. Okay. Are you talking about the billboard that's on the 190 or something different?
No. The snip snip.
Yeah,
That happens.
it's the
Oh,
billboard
that's the one on the 90
Yeah, it's
still?
the billboard on the 190.
I thought that was the one where they were saying like there should be more female priests or
I
something.
mean, that was two. But the one on the 90 right now is like circumcision is child abuse. It's like, all right, chill out. Jesus Christ. I'm not doing some extra scrubbing because you thought I needed a hood.
Yeah, right. But I think it's
Probably a little too much information.
oh my god, we gotta wrap it up. We gotta wrap. You're the one that said it.
Oh my God. All right. I'm trying to still look up why you need two middle names.
Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing.
It makes them feel important.
It makes them feel important. Probably, especially in 2021. No one knows what's going on. We're never gonna get monetized
No,
ever.
this is not coming out. No. This episode is going to be buried into the archives. It's never going to be released.
It's gonna be referenced like the Jesselnick podcast where they never talk about that one thing.
Yeah, really.
Oh man.
When do you get your second middle name? I'm pretty sure it was after communion, or no, not communion, because you said that it wasn't communion. So it's after you were confirmed, right?
No, you did. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm asking you about it because I don't know anything about it. I'm gonna try to pull something up, but I don't know.
All right. So what is the traditional Catholic middle name convention? Eastern Rite Catholics all receive confirmation immediately following their baptism, as technically confirmation is the second half of an initiation to the new life. So basically, you're taking. I'm crying. I was laughing so hard. So you are taking your confirmation as your second rebirth. Could be 100% wrong. I have no idea what I'm talking about. But from that, you're then given a new name to memorialize your second life rebirth.
But you can deny that and then just only have one.
I have no idea. Again, I didn't go through any of this.
I'm gonna call my
I was
dad.
super jealous because all my like friends in school were all getting like $40,000 because they had their baptism or communion party or whatever, and like the teacher would be like, what are you thankful for this summer? And they're like, I got $8,000 because I was confirmed. The teacher's like, all right, there's more to life than getting money, and the kids were just like not having it.
Well, I spent all mine.
Right.
Hookers and blow. No, I'm just kidding. I linked up with Deshaun. When I got my first communion, it's a bar mitzvah. Just kidding. It's a different religion. But yeah, it's a huge party. I got a ton of money from it, from family members and things. And there was a cake. It was Barney themed, I'm sure. But it was a massive thing. And then that's how there's bonds involved. People buy you bonds, and then you set those up. And then it's a separate account. I sold my bonds to buy a car because I'm like, I need to go to work and my car is totaled. So I'm pulling out my bonds, like, praise the Lord, but I gotta get to work.
Yeah.
My shift starts at 7.
Jesus, take the wheel means you're meeting people.
Literally, yeah, it's a different thing. So that's how that went down. But I don't know. I really don't know why there's a whole separate thing.
Yeah.
Because I got baptized and then I got my first communion and then confirmations after that. And then the confirmation, from my understanding, is what allows you to be married in a church.
Which is another weird process.
And then, two
of my friends got married in churches, and they had to fill out like a survey.
Yeah, well,
for somebody to assess if they're good to be with each other.
Correct. Yeah.
Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
you, who literally can't be married or have kids, are going to assess if I can get married and have kids based off of how you think I perform.
Yeah. And if they're members of the same church or not.
So stupid, dude.
I don't understand.
Where did religion go wrong? Did it go wrong, or are we just as a society understanding that it's wrong and fighting back? That's a loaded question that we should probably address next week.
Yeah.
Because we're 50 minutes in, and we've already covered a lot in this episode. Do you want to dive into it?
No.
Like, why do you think...
I don't know what, maybe greed? Conquistadors? I don't know where it went wrong.
It could be greed, because if you
I
think,
wasn't
if
even
you,
a thought in my dad's nutsack
Right.
when all this stuff happened. My dad wasn't even a thought in his dad's nutsack.
So if you think it's greed, let's peel this back. So if you want to marry somebody in a Catholic church, you have to become a member. And becoming a member of the Catholic Church means you have to go and give money So it could very well be.
Well, not necessarily.
But they force you to. They basically put the basket in front of your face and be like, God would be disappointed if you don't give us money.
I used to always tap it. The guy with the long pole would just shake his head. I would just tap it.
So it could be a money thing. There's some good aspects of religion. Like there's the whole community aspect and believing in something higher. Like one of my favorite political commentators talks about it all the time, and how this whole aspect of socialism and the government funding your life should never happen, because you have a community in which you live, you have a community in which your family is, and then you have a community, hypothetically speaking, would be your church that you live in and you get support from, and then they can help you through the tough times. It should never come down to the government. And in that situation, I 100% agree in religion. But to the point where it's this whole you can only believe in God unless you give me money for it. It's like, dude, really? This is where we're going with this? And at that point, I just tuned it out. Dude, I just get so fed up when it comes to religion, because I understand the purpose of it in the historical senses, but now I just think it's a money grab.
Oh, there's no doubt. I mean, specifically the Catholic Church has a slew of issues, but...
Would you ever become a Mormon?
No. I make a lot of dark jokes about Mormonism, but no, I wouldn't. No. I'm very...
What is the religion that you would join today? Would you join one?
Well, I mean, no, but only because for the last, 30 years of my life, it's, I'm a Roman Catholic. Yeah. I was raised Catholic. That's just how it is.
But Catholic's a part of Christianity.
Correct.
Christianity has other branches under it that aren't Catholicism.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't go to Lutheran or Protestant or anything like that?
No, I would just, I'm good.
I have zero idea what any of this means. I'm just talking.
Because you've heard it before?
Out of the hat. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I know with different religions, priests can do different things. In certain branches of Christianity, priests can't be married. Priests can have alcohol. And then in some religions or some branches, priests can't have alcohol. There's all variables, I guess, in the priesthood. It's all different. But I was raised Roman Catholic. I wouldn't change that. I'm a non-practicing Roman Catholic anyways.
Do you believe
in God?
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe in heaven, the big things.
Yeah.
I believe in God, heaven and earth, hell, purgatory. I believe in those things just as a core, it's setting boundaries,
but
really.
Like Bill Burr says, you don't have to go down to the church, have you pay money for somebody to tell you that you need to believe in this here and only here.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'd rather make some baked goods and then watch football on Sundays. I don't want to go to church for a bunch of hours and, sprinkle myself with holy water.
Yeah, and bow down to Josh Allen.
Yeah, basically.
Because he's our God.
Some Palm Sundays, and I'm good. I'm good. Those pussy willows all over the place. I'm good. I don't want to deal with all that. Then, the music is pretty solid. There's some bangers that they play, but it's...
Hell yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
You can tell the person singing is pulling out the holy...
Right.
The holy voice.
I do, I have a lot of respect for the organ, the piano, the singers and things, but after my grandpa's service, I'm good on church for a long time. Yeah. I'm good. There was a lot of Hail Marys and Our Fathers. We did 2 rosaries before he even went into the ground. So
I don't even know what a rosary is.
Seriously?
Dude, I haven't gone to church.
Okay, so it looks like a necklace, but you don't wear it as a necklace, and then it's got a cross on it, and it's made up of beads. And every bead is a different prayer, but there's only 2 prayers. There's the Our Father and Hail Mary. And then it's a certain number that you have to repeat.
Do you know those by heart?
Yeah, to complete a rosary, and then the cross has a separate prayer.
I'm at the point where I don't know whether to do the whole cross thing or the rubbing different portions of the button.
So when you rub, you're just doing small crosses.
Never
That's all.
That.
Yeah,
I was doing circles.
Yeah, I had no idea what was going on either. And then the other thing, there's people that are going to get a kick out of this if they know. when you're in church for Catholics, and they convert the water to wine, and then the bread to the body of Christ or whatever, and then it's take this, it's a piece of me spiel, and then they ring a bell. You're supposed to just gently tap your chest in homage or whatever significance it's for. I used to fucking hammer myself, dude. So, true story, also I had got my grandpa's service. My grandpa's in his casket in the center aisle. They draped the cloth over him, full thing. We're going through mass for my grandpa, and I haven't been to church with my family Dude, like pre-nut drop, like long time, right? So I'm sitting there and we're taking a knee and my right knee's screaming because it's shot now, and I'm in the pew and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. Like I gotta cheat. I gotta put my rump on the seat because on the pew I can't do it. So I'm sitting there and I move my knee off the kneeler thing. And he rings the bell. The priest rings the bell, and the priest knows my grandpa. Like, they actually know each other. So he knows him very well. He's distraught basically through half the mass because it's like a friend of his. Yeah. Rings the bell. My sister looks at me like, are you going to do it like old times? And I crank myself, and my dad just nudges me. He's like, seriously? I go, Dad. I'm like, oh, of all people, you're the one that's going to critique me? Oh, it was hysterical. No, I mean, we had a lot of fun, but it was,
the priest or I don't know who helps him. Who helps him?
The altar boys?
Yeah, but what are they called? They're called something.
Yeah, altar boys.
No, they're called, like, the dude that's, like, close with the priest. It's not the altar boy. He's called something else.
Are you talking like a bishop?
Yeah,
because they're higher than a priest.
Deacon, that's what it is, yeah. So I was at a wedding, and nobody drank the wine. So the deacon just guzzled that after because you can't, like, leave it in there.
Yeah.
So he was just chugging it, and I'm like, Deacon, relax, bro. This is wild.
Well, it's horrendous wine anyways.
Yeah.
But the whole COVID thing messed that up where you can't share the wine anymore anyway, so they only put like a little bit in there. But if he made a full glass and he's chugging it, good for him. He chugged it, yeah. Yeah, that's wild.
He gave him props after that.
It's the same with the body of Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the main reasons. I just wanted to eat during Mass as a kid when I was like 6. So I was like, Dad, I just want to eat it. And he's like, well, you got to have your first communion before you can go accept the body of Christ. And I said, why? He goes, because that's how it works. I was like, well, I want to do that then because I want to eat. He goes, it's not going to fill you up. I was like, I don't care. I want to be with you. I just want to do what you do. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. And then he's like, all right. So I did it. I got my first communion done. And, I'm taking the prayer pictures, with my little suit and my glasses and then pre-LASIK. Okay. And
why do you have to be confirmed to do that though?
It's just, that's the church. It's how it works. It's how it works, man.
I've gotten it and I have not been confirmed. So I don't know what that says about me. I don't know if I'm going to hell or not.
Yeah, you're probably cheating.
Perfect.
Yeah, stealing all the food, man.
PTL.
To
eat, bro.
Praise the Lord. Yeah, trying to get up them Christ checks for the Lord. All them clean gains.
We probably need to end this episode. This has been a disaster of an episode. It has probably been one of our best, but this has been...
Yep, now everyone knows.
We need to end this.
Don't piss off a Kelly. All right. Take care.
Thank you, everybody. If you have stuck around this long, God bless you. No pun intended. This has been one for the ages. I don't know if this is going to air. I don't know if this is going to be archived a week later. I have no idea what's happening to this. But if you're around when this is airing, thank you. Thank you so much. If you want to be a part of our Patreon, we are basically like the Catholic Church and asking you for money. So if you want to be a part of the Patreon, go to patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. You can get the episodes a week early. Like we said, you could have our name in the end screen. There's other perks too about merch drops and single barrel drops and quarterly hangout sessions, which we have to start talking about scheduling that one. Because we do have patrons. So if you're interested in any of that, go to patreon.com/Buffalo Happy Hour. We have a ton of content coming for you. Mike and I have basically sacrificed our entire social life because we do not know when to stop. And we are too stubborn to say no to new ideas that could potentially help us out in growing. So if you're excited for any of that, please subscribe to us on YouTube. It definitely helps us grow. Please like and follow our Instagram account. We are at the Buffalo Happy Hour 12 and Facebook at the Buffalo Happy Hour. We post ridiculous amount of times there and new stuff coming for you also. We're going to start posting clips and trying to be more engaging with you guys. So if that's something that you're interested in, please make sure that you're following all of our social medias and subscribed on YouTube and TikTok because we're also on there too. We recorded 2 Wednesday whiskey reviews today with some awesome products. And we also did a Thursday episode that is going to be releasing as well, talking about the top 5 bourbons for under $50. So if that's something you're interested in, please make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel as well and go back and check that out because it's definitely going to be useful come the holiday times.
And then we also have upcoming interviews for you guys for Friday releases. So be on the lookout for those. And that's a great way for those out of town that moved away from Buffalo to kind of stay in touch with what's happening inside of the great big Queen City. So thank you all for your support. We are looking forward to next week. Derek, thank you for your time and hearing my insane family stories. Next week, you're up, and we will go from there.
Right. I got to start thinking of stuff because I have a lot to compete with. I'm going to start digging up some stuff that I have repressed.
Yeah, I'm just going to look back at my therapist notes. So, all right, guys, we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much. If you're going to pick up any of the whiskey that we reviewed today or in the future, please remember to drink responsibly. Be a good person. And Michael,
Do not litter.
we're out.
We'll be right back.